FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
We have considerably more insight into this debate than we did perhaps 10 days ago, thanks to Mr. Bob Woodward. I'm skeptical about the details of his book. I have read about it and read some excerpts. There's too many direct quotes for somebody who didn't have a tape recorder with him. And I have some personal experience with some of his fact-checking. But the basic outlines of the story are close to true, and I've just come from Monterey and talking to some people down there, and the basic outlines are true. The short version is, in many ways, we got lucky with the surge. The decision to increase the number of troops, which is how most people define the surge, we went from X number of troops to X more number of troops, things got better, therefore more troops are better. It was actually done absent really any new strategy. It was just going to be a raw increase in numbers. The number of troops we had was not working. If we put in more troops, it will not work more. There was no new strategy at the time. And in fact, I think what Bob Woodward does outline and persuasively is that it was done absent even a consultation with our commanders on the ground or the Joint Chiefs of Staff. I do remember watching Colin Powell in January of '07 on Meet the Press, Face the Nation, one of those things, and was asked about the surge, and he said, he just asked a basic question: what is their mission? What is their mandate? What are they going to be doing? If it's simply throwing more troops at the problem without a clear understanding about what they're going to do and how they're going to do it, the chances of it being successful are not great. I think one of the things that is most telling is that David Petraeus was selected to lead the surge after the decision was made to do the surge. If the conversation had been, gee, everything in Iraq is really going to hell in a handbasket, what we're doing isn't working very well, does anybody have a better idea? And someone has said, well, there is this banished general out in Kansas who has a whole new theory of counterinsurgency. Maybe we should hire him. If he had been hired and he had said, what I need are X more troops, then we would have had a surge with a strategy. What we have is a surge, then a strategy. We were very lucky that Dave Petraeus was the one who was selected to head our forces on the ground after the surge numbers. What is more important was not the number of troops that went in, but how they were used. And this is the lesson that we have to be very cognizant of. It is not the number of troops that went in, but how they were used. They were used, he got them out of their major bases. I had a Marine friend of mine who did a tour in 2006 or so, and he said he saw Iraq for a year through 4-inch thick glass. He never met an Iraqi, he never talked to an Iraqi, he never got out of his truck except to shoot an Iraqi, and he did not find it a very satisfying experience. He said he had no idea what was going on. And then at night, after clearing the streets, they would all go back to their bases. We had no contact with the local situation. David Petraeus got us out of the major bases. He got our troops into these very small outposts around the cities. He got them out of their ninja suits and he got them walking around talking to the people. We got very much away from the idea that our primary goal and our primary responsibility was our own security. In a sense, we had troops there in order to protect ourselves. You know, that was what they were there for, was to protect themselves. And he said, no, the reason that they're there is to protect the Iraqis. He changed the basic paradigm of what the occupation was to be. And in teaching this class, I've done some very interesting reading, and there's a very good article that makes the point that for an occupation to be successful, the occupiers have to believe that it is to their benefit, that the occupier is there for them, not for himself. That was the paradigm shift that we did with the surge, that was done with the new counterinsurgency. We lost the Iraqis. We lost Iraq. We almost lost Iraq, but we certainly lost the Iraqis probably on about the third or fourth day, when with the looting and our very callous, Mr. Rumsfeld's very callous response that that's not what we're there for, that the Iraqis got the sense that, you know, we weren't there for them, that this was going to be regime change but not nation building. What happened with the surge was that paradigm was turned around, and we were there for the Iraqis. We were there on the ground with the Iraqis. We brought them in.